What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all from the beautiful mountains of West Virginia. Yes, this is a part of my birthday road trip series. I'm actually here with my mom today. But anyway, you guys, we are here at the world famous Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park. You see, this amusement park, it operated from 1926 to 1966, and then it operated from 1986 to 1988. Throughout its history, there have been several tragedies, but there has also been a lot of joy at this place. But anyway, guys, we are here to check out the remains of the park. It is abandoned, it is haunted, but something to note about the spirits here: they are not evil, they're not malevolent. Most of them are actually the spirits of children and Native Americans. So anyway, guys, I really recommend checking this place out. It's really cool. Without further ado, we're gonna get in here and we're gonna talk about the stories of the Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. So without further ado, you guys, let's do it. Anchor down. Now, one of the things about the Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park everyone will notice is, of course, the outside of it. That is a hand-painted clown mural. Anyway, they also run a haunted house here during the Halloween months. But one of the guides that was here, he was telling us that the crowds out here will be absolutely packed out to check out the haunted house that is out here. But now there is another story associated with this place, one that we will talk about we'll talk about when we get there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I read somewhere once that this is actually even one of the most haunted places on Earth. So it is good that the entities that are here are good. They are not evil by any means whatsoever. But we're gonna check out some of the abandoned amusement park rides that are here at Lake Shawnee. Now, as we're walking to the Ferris wheel and the swings, we're gonna stop here and check this out real quick. This is another one of the things that they have set up for the Halloween season. And again, if you come here and do tours of this place, I highly recommend it. They will take you out to this spot and they will give you a full history that talks about this place in such a way that this video could not, it could really not do it any justice. And I just walked over this, but I think this is so cool, whoever did this. But this is a chalk version of the Mothman. Now, if y'all don't know, Mothman is the biggest cryptid that comes out of West Virginia. And I absolutely love this. By the way, across the lake, here's the Ferris wheel that we're going to check out. But while we are walking, I want to talk a little bit more about Lake Shawnee, the lake itself. You see, way back when, during the 20s up until the 60s, this lake was far larger than it is now. And actually, at one point, it did have a building built on top of it. Now, the photo that you can see, it is on the tour. I'm not going to post it just because this place is really awesome, and the tour is well worth it. But since times have changed, the lake has kind of been dredged off in some places, just simply by rainfall and other things. By the way, there's one part of what the lake used to be. Now, the owner does hope that he can dig it up one day and get the lake back to what it once was. But that's kind of on the shelf that's kind of shelved at the moment. But a cool thing about the pool being here and the house and whatnot, there actually used to be where you had to rent out swimming trunks back then just to get in the pool. You see, back then you had to have swimming trunks to swim at Lake Shawnee. However, some of these swimming trunks that they would rent out for about 10 cents a piece, sometimes they would be used up to twice in a day. Yes, you would be wearing some guy's swimming trunks. Just think about that. That's not exactly the funnest in the world. Honestly, I kind of wonder where the bathing house once stood from where we're at right now. Now, for the most part, this is the major chunk of Lake Shawnee that's left. Now, here is the Ferris wheel. Now, there isn't any real deaths associated with this Ferris wheel. However, on the 10th box, which is this one right here, it is said that at certain times of the day, it looks like somebody is standing from it. Actually, there was a photo taken from some gentleman who was a police officer down in the Atlanta area, and he sent it to the owner, and the owner tried, he tried copying this, and this simply didn't work. Now, I do love the rusticness of this Ferris wheel. It's not rusting away. Well, technically it is rusting away, but there's just something about it having a charm of sitting in the weeds and slowly decaying. From what I understand, the owner said that this was constructed sometime in the 80s. And in the 80s, in the later years of Lake Shawnee, by the way, Lake Shawnee operated in two phases from 1926 to 1966 and 1986 to 1988. During that time in the second phase, they were having some financial problems and they had to sell off a lot of the rides. Well, this Ferris wheel right here, it was not sold, and for some strange reason people wanted to buy it, but they didn't. They loved it, but it sat here. And one of the things that is said, the reason why it didn't sell, I should say, the reason why it didn't sell is because the Native American spirits here felt like it attracts people and it causes people to give their time, which is the most important thing. And this wind is causing me to slur a little bit. Not that great, but I'm still here. Oh goodness, you gotta love this cold weather. Now, I'm not totally sure what these things are. They look like some kind of barrels, probably from the bygone era of when this place was an amusement park. They look really cool though. And speaking of more relics from the past, here is here's another ticket booth from Lake Shawnee's past. It's old, it's withered, but that's what gives it a really cool look about it. And there are even some children's toys. By the way, there are stories behind those toys. By the way, check out the inside of the ticket booth. That's really cool. Now, the tragedy associated with this swing right here is it never used to sit on this side of Lake Shawnee. It actually sat on the other side of the lake back during the 30s. By the way, this was the mainstay of the park for a really long time. But right next to the bathing house, there was a soda truck that was unloading some drinks, and as it was backing up, this truck accidentally backs into this child who was in this swing right here, this swing seat. And now it's also said that she likes to really play with this tassel right here. Looks like it was a part of a balloon at one time, but looks like it's not really. But then again, I mean, it's the wind right now. But all in all, I love that even to this day it is still a beautiful piece of machinery. Like, just check this out. Check out this old just this old cool ironwork that used to spin all these children. I mean, that is cool. Sadly, there is a little kid there, well, a doll. A little bit scary, not gonna lie. Now, people have left various different trinkets and offerings to this little girl. A lot of them are toys, and a lot of them I do believe she plays with quite a bit. And you know what? It would not be a complete child's fun outing without some delicious Coke. By the way, it's been said too that she likes to play with this little Halloween bag. Looks like it is a blowin'. You know, and I just love that here in the middle of the park, or that was the park, well, it still is the park, here is an old school bus. I kind of like that it's still been sitting here all this time. I wonder what's in the interior. Well, it looks like a lot of the wood has been cut out. Well, a lot of the guts in it have been cut out. But obviously, you know what? This would make for one awesome mystery machine. And speaking of other different types of rides, here are some old school paddle boats. I think these are some originals, but dude, these are so freaking cool. Now, I'm not gonna get in these, but this is pretty neat how they have these out here. But I don't think they've been used in a while. Speaking of paddle boats, here's the sign that they have for these. I like that old school sign. That's pretty neat. Now this marker right here, this is probably, or at least perhaps, the most tragic thing that has ever happened on this property, or one of the most tragic things. But it was in 1783 when 2 children of Mitchell Clay were killed by Shawnee Indians. Clay was the first white settler in Mercer County. However, probably best to say he was the first English settler in this area. But beyond this marker along this trail right here, there is a grave marker where these 2 children were buried. Or I should say 3 children. You see, when this group of Shawnee Indians killed these children, these 2 children, well, the mother of Mitchell, or the wife of Mitchell Clay, she and her children, they head to the nearest cabin, the nearest family, which is about 5 miles from here. However, when Mitchell Clay gets back, he sees that 2 of his children are dead, and he thinks that the rest of this group of Shawnees have killed his entire family. Well, he goes after them, he finds this group, and well, long story short, he brings back the child, his 3rd child, who died, who was found burned at the stake and buried with these 2 other children, which we're about up to right now. Now, the guide who just recently spoke to us, he called this the dark trail, and I can kind of see why. It's because when you enter this particular area, the energy about it just feels a little bit different, like a bit darker. But we're not really here to do any harm, so I doubt the entities or the spirits here would have anything bad to say, because like I said, we're not here to do any wrong. And we have finally made it to the grave site. This is in memory of Bartley and Tabitha Clay, massacred by Shawnee Indians August 1783. Children of Mitchell and Phoebe Clay. First settlers at Mercer County, erected August 14th, 1937, on the exact site of the graves. So yes, they are buried here, and a lot of people have paid their respects. Now we have made it to the other side of the lake. We have come across this school bus. Now this school bus has a very interesting story attached to it. The first one being that it was featured on I think it was featured on a National Geographic show. I forgot what the name of it was, although it should appear here in the video. And the other one this was actually the owner's brother's bus that he lived in for quite a while, and sadly he passed away in 2003. However, there are some paranormal pictures of him that people have shown the owner. So he does believe that his brother is still hanging around. But then again, I mean, living the bus life is pretty neat, I'm not gonna lie. Which is kind of interesting because the National Geographic show that that this was featured in, the guy lived in this bus for about a year, and it would test what he would do inside an abandoned theme park. So this bus also played a role in that as well. It's kind of cool. There's even an old school TV in it, and heck, there's even Escape to Athena, Highlander. Those are some old not CDs, videos. This is pretty cool. Additive food disorders. Oh wow, that's old. And I think these are various songs. Like, getting to see this outside now, it looks really cool. It would also make for a really good photo as well. Preston City Schools. It's kind of cool that even to this day, even when you're here at the park, people can walk up to it and go inside it. Looks like we're finally at the back of it. I always kind of wondered why they have back doors on school buses. Check this out. They have some old school rides, like old school, what do you call it? Old school equipment that kids would play on. Like this slide right here and this jungle gym. Well, although it kind of looks more like an igloo than anything else, because you can see the entrance in the top where kids would play on. Of course, I would be too fat to get on the slide. Much too fat, because my adult self could not handle it. It's still cool to look at though. Now, there is a very interesting story about this ticket booth right here. It was after hours one night and everybody had gone home, but somebody had managed to get in after hours, and as they walked towards the back, they came in to this door right here. Now, as they walked into the door, the entity that was here, well, it pushed him. In fact, it pushed him about 5 feet from here to here. The guy got so scared that he left as fast as he could. Now, it has been said that the children that haunt this area, by the way, this is the pond where a child did die. Children will communicate with paranormal investigators and other people with this pinwheel. It has been said that people can communicate like, hey, can you move it a little bit? Just a little bit. See, although I know it's windy, I don't think it'd be them exactly. But they've had a lot of interesting activity. Hey, would you care doing it again for me? Okay, alright. But anyway, people have left little trinkets for the children, which leads me to the tragedy that happened on this side of Lake Shawnee. It was 1930 when this took place, but a mother dropped off her child to this part of the pond, this part of the swimming area, and when everyone was going home at 5 o'clock that evening, her son was not there. Now, she went back to the house. He was nowhere to be seen, but later the next day, they found the child. They found the boy. What had happened is his hand had gotten stuck in a drainage pipe, and he drained here in this pond. Now, as I was saying at the beginning of the vlog, Lake Shawnee, they do a really cool haunted house on weekends in October, and this is it right here. Now, there are a few things that they did warn me about, that way I don't get hurt. A few of the things have come out, but it'll be good to go this upcoming Halloween once more. That kind of looks like an electric chair. But just check out that big giant skeleton, followed by more giant skeletons. Looks like that guy has a splitting headache. Yeah, I'm bad. And that guy has a splitting headache too. By the way, check out the entrance to their haunted house. Like on the off season, I think this is a little more scarier than during the Halloween season. Let's go inside. Let's make the descent into the haunted house. Actually, I kind of like this. I dig this. Corpse only. Follow the red sign. Imagine this is where a guy would jump in on you and beat the chains. That'd be pretty freaky. Then you would walk through here. I imagine people would probably beat stuff, I guess. By the way, check out these really cool old school bottles and the stuff that's in the jars. By the way, you will be led like sheep to the slaughter, and as a lamb before the shearer will be silent. Not open. Okay, that was pretty scary. I'm gonna keep walking. And I guess somebody would get in there and beat something, I guess. And I like how this is just, oh no. Nope. I like how they have the body bags here. Okay, this is actually really cool. I like the fact that I gotta walk through all these body bags. And well, I guess we don't go that way. But I guess, yeah, there's an electric chair right there. And here we go. I imagine during the operating season. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I like that. I really dig that. That would scare the doody out of somebody. And that kind of looks like blood and guts. And you could run right through that. And again, that would scare the doody out of people. Followed by more of these things. They're gonna keep going. Looks like the blood and the guts. That's really, really freaky. But I'd really like to see, you know what, you guys, we will definitely come back here later on during the Halloween months, because I like this. I'd like to see what it looks like. Ooh. Okay, this is reeking some serious Jeffrey Dahmer vibes. I don't know how I feel about it. What do you think about it, Mr. Rat? And I guess that person never got ahead in life. I had to make the joke because we're out here, but the one that's chained up looks kind of... No me gusta. No me gusta at all. Do not feed. Huh. Well, what are you telling me who I don't feed? Oh. Oh, okay. Wait. Is this the back end? Yeah, I think this is the back end. I don't think that... Well, maybe. I don't know. Murder. And... yeah, I guess this is where it ends. At the end. Ugh. And I'm caught on it. Great. Just great. Now let's get out of here, you guys. Anyway, guys, this place is amazing. If you do get an opportunity to stop by in West Virginia, do come over here. it is awesome. It's well worth the money. It's super cool. And like I was saying, the tour guide that tells these stories, they do it way better than I could. They have pictures, and they give an overall better presentation than I ever could. But as we're nearing the end, I do want to talk about a story that's on the other side of these gates. You see, in this field, back in the 90s, there was what they call a mud bog. It's basically where a group of trucks, they go mudding, and it's a pretty fun southern sport. But they were planning on digging another spot back in the 90s, and what they had come across is they found the graves of well, the graves of Native Americans, or more than likely from the woodland period. But when this happened, they brought the nearby university out to the spot to kind of conduct a survey, and they found that more than likely there are about 3,000 Native American graves that are buried out here in this spot. And anyway, we would walk out to the memorial, but I believe my mom's wanting to get out of here. But anyway, guys, this has been a very fun vlog. I've wanted to come out here for a while now, and it was totally worth it. But anyway, guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care, that y'all want to see more awesome videos. So without further ado, you guys, vlog over. Actually, hold that thought real quick. We can go up to this memorial. I didn't realize it was so close as it was, but it was on our way out. But when they found these Native American graves, they wanted to pay their respects, but they did not want to use a headstone. Headstones they felt like were too well, too modern, and they wanted to give something to the woodland Indians that lived here in this spot who were buried here. So anyway, they took a rock that was from this spot right here, and they placed it upwards. It sank into the ground, and if you look at it hard enough, you can see the nose and the mouth and the feathers of the Indian. As said by the owner and tour guide, the land here does what it wants. Plus there's some pretty cool deer antler skulls. But anyway, guys, yeah. Now one cool thing that I found out about this is the burials. You would find some Indians that would be buried kind of like side by side, or not side by side, but kind of in a fetal position. Well, typically they could tell that's where Indians or Native Americans were buried during the winter time, because the ground was too frozen, and they couldn't really work with it. Now, a Native American woodland period Indian, they would be buried faced up, because the land, or I should say the land, was easier to work with. But anyway, guys, I figured this is the actual end of the video. So vlog over.